So what do you think happens when the most emotionally intense zodiac sign, which is Scorpio, Sun and Moon, face off with the mystical empath, Pisces, Sun and Moon, in not only just a spiritual battle, but a physical battle? And we're talking ancient astrology only, which means there's not going to be any fluff, no Pluto, just the raw, old school power of Mars versus Jupiter. So who do you think reigns supreme? Well, let's find out right now. So both Scorpio and Pisces are water signs, but that is where the similarities stop. So according to ancient astrology, Mars was assigned to Scorpio and Jupiter was assigned to Pisces. And I know alone that tells everything. So briefly, I just want to cover the basics before I get real deep into this. So Scorpio Sun and Moon are fixed water ruled by Mars. So just imagine, if you will, boiling lava under the ocean floor. So the Sun gives Scorpio its ego strength and primal drive. And the Moon adds emotional control that can be so intense sometimes, it can literally boil you from the inside out. Now, Pisces Sun and Moon are mutable water, traditionally ruled by Jupiter. Neptune became Pisces' modern ruler back in 1846. And you guys need to fact check that, okay? So basically, Pisces is the sign of spiritual transcendence. This gives Pisces a kind of radiant mystical idealism. The Moon will add emotional empathy so vast it could dissolve boundaries. So basically, Scorpio is building an emotional fortress stockpiled with shark-infested moats, all while Pisces is floating on lily pads and whispering to angels, but they are still low-key reading your soul. Now let's say things get a little bit physical between Scorpio and Pisces. Who do you think will walk away? Scorpio, with Mars as its ruler, is quite literally built for battle. In fact, the ancients viewed Mars as the sword or the initiator of war and even endurance, strategy, and discipline. Now, with both luminaries, Sun and Moon in Scorpio, we're quite literally talking about 100% war-born soul. So now Pisces, under the influence of Jupiter, will bring to that sign expansion, divine intervention, and grace. Now, Pisces would not be the one to throw the first punch, but if cornered, they will channel their mutable energy to slip through the cracks and strike with divine timing. So imagine and think, if you would, the Scorpio comes along and breaks the lock, but Pisces cleverly becomes the fog and vanishes with your key. So in a straight physical battle, Scorpio will likely dominate. Ancient Mars does not play, but physical power is not the full story, especially with water signs. We have to take in consideration the spiritual power. So for Pisces Sun and Moon, Jupiter was the planet of divine wisdom, prophecy, and spiritual transcendence. But in traditional astrology, Pisces was seen as the gatekeeper between the earthly realm and the divine. So Pisces is the mystic, the prophet, the interdimensional empath. Now, Scorpio Suns and Moons with Mars in ancient times was more than just brute force. It was sacred willpower. You see, Scorpio is the esoteric, which is a soul that literally walks through fire to resurrect stronger. Scorpios don't float above the shadows. They become the shadow and master it. So while Pisces is communing with cosmic light, Scorpio is transforming the darkness into divine power. So my verdict is this. Pisces can tap into the angelic realms. Scorpio masters the underworld. Spiritually, Pisces flies a little higher, but Scorpio goes deeper. Now, what about the inner realm? And before we get to that, I just want to say that I am now in the West with my mother, staying at her home temporarily. So if you notice the background is a little bit different than usual, it's because it's not my home. This is my mom's ginormous office. It's really big in here and spacious. So you'll just have to pardon me. This is my temporary YouTube studio. So now let's get back on track. Well, Scorpios can be emotionally fortified, and this combo has unshakable emotional endurance and also the ability to manipulate and transform any battlefield. They'll suffer in silence and win, mind you. Whereas Pisces possesses deep emotional sensitivity, and their power is in the areas of compassion, intuition, and even psychic fluidity. That when Pisces is overwhelmed, they can tend to retreat into fantasy land or just collapse altogether under the overwhelming emotional overload. So Scorpio builds walls and Pisces gets busy building castles in the clouds. And one of them is easier to tear down. So my verdict is in. So in psychological endurance, Scorpio wins by sheer inner force. So who reigns supreme here in the water kingdom? Well, physically, Scorpio Sun and Moon here forge an emotional titan, but neither is better. You see, they're archetype opposites, but in the best way. Scorpio is the sacred warrior, and Pisces is the cosmic healer. One rules the shadow, while the other one is channeling light. Together, they don't just reign, they transcend. All right, my deep divers, who are you all betting on? Scorpio Sun and Moon or Pisces Sun and Moon? So make sure you drop your zodiac placements in the comments down below and let me know who you think takes the Water Kingdom crown. So please be kind and don't forget to smash that like button. And if you felt any emotional power from this video, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification because I do not want you to miss out on any of my deep astrology breakdowns.